Here's an episode I've been waiting for since I started this, and hilariously enough, this was one that my kids did not want to watch. Not because they were scared, because they just weren't interested. And I was talking to them, I was like, come on, man, let's watch this. And they were like, we want to do this. And I'm like, I'm going to watch it. And I thought they were going to come out, and they never did. And this is like the episode, too. Because when I was younger, a kid-ish, I suppose, this was my favorite episode when I was a kid. The Tale of the Silent Servant. I actually made my entire family come down and rewatch this episode with me because I thought it was so fantastic that they all needed to see it. And as expected, they couldn't care less, but I did force them to watch this one. This is the only one ever. I thought it was fantastic. So we got these two kids, and they're out, they're playing baseball. He's got the sister, and she is like not wanting to have anything to do with it, but she's like doing it for him. And he throws baseball, breaks the window, and his dad comes out, and he's like so unbelievably nice about it. And his older brother is so unbelievably nice about it. And the kid's just sitting there being like, oh my God, it's so unfair. You guys are so unfair. And it's like, he seriously is the nicest family in this movie. It's crazy. Or episode. It was really annoying, but I mean, that's typical. I think kids who grow up with really sweet parents, they and then they get hard on them. Please. They couldn't have been lighter on him. They just think it's like the whole world's crumbling around them, and it's like, yeah, be around parents who actually lay into you when you do something. Like, there's parents, when you break a window, they'll freaking break your arm. Like, oh my God, this guy's just like, well, you're gonna have to work off this. And she's like, this is crazy, this is so unfair. And it's like, you broke the freaking, like, he's being so nice about this. He's not even yelling, he's not even mad. Lord. So we hit this guy in the barn who is around the silent servant, and I guess he's after him. I don't know, because we cut to like, I don't know how many years later, but many years later, and he's still around. And the kids find this scarecrow, and the scarecrow in this is very, very creepy, like super, super creepy. Still, I thought it was a great scarecrow, one of the best I've seen for a scary type thing. But speaking of creepy, this dude who's around him is super like nutty and creepy as all hell as well. I think his performance is pretty great. He's eerie, man. So I dug that guy, and they take the scarecrow, and they think it's going to get him out of it because they have to build this fence, and they plop it down in the yard, and the brother's just like, yeah, right, like, good try, we're going to have to build this fence. But the kid reads the magic scroll from the bone with the two dragons on it, and he brings the silent servant to life unbeknownst to him. And of course, not believing in it, he commands him to do a couple things, which he does. Then he commands him to do another thing, and it's awesome. He fixes that huge fence around, well, not huge, but this big fence that they had to build around the crops. And then, of course, he gets greedy with it, and he decides, like, all right, I'll have him build me a dugout. And he takes all the wood from the dugout, and he builds the, little baseball thing, and the dugout. Which that part's so silly to me, because he's all pissed and he's like, this is crazy, like, blah blah blah, and his brother's giving him crap, and he goes in and he finds out that his gloves are missing, and he thinks someone's betrayed him, and so he decides that he wants them dead. He's like, oh, I want to kill whoever did. And then that sends the silent servant after his dad, even though he thinks it's his brother. But I was just sitting there like, why didn't you just say, like, hey, can you put back the fence together? Like I command you to break down the dugout I told you to build and build up the fence exactly how it was before. And then just don't use anything from there. Like, the fact that he doesn't even think of such a thing or to fix it at all. I mean, I guess he's terrified of this thing, so he doesn't want to use it anymore, but it was just so silly to me. I was like, this is such a simple fix. And them trying to break the bone is absurdly bad. It's like tapping on the thing. I'm guessing the prop was like really like fragile, and they were like, okay, just like tap the thing. Don't even bother. Like don't hit it. It will break. And then they go and they find the the guy who came before them, whatever, and break the thing on his tombstone and break the curse. And she has to remember. Good thing that lunatic told her the magic words. Solemnos, something Solemnos. I should know it. Shit, see, I can't even remember it, and I've heard it 100 times probably. And this chick heard it once, and she remembered it, so she got better memory than I do. But yeah, I was such a big fan of this episode. Rewatching it was very, very nostalgic for me. Yes, it didn't hold up as well because I'm a 36-year-old man, and when I saw this, I don't know how old I was, but much younger than I am now, and I just thought it was the shit. And this was back when I was watching all sorts of horror movies, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like all sorts of stuff, and this one still really worked for me. So I would really have been curious what my kids thought about this, but oh well, maybe I'll show it to them a different day. But for now, they didn't get to see it. All right, let's move on to the next one.